Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome. If you can hear me well, please put a plus in the chat box. Perfect. Thanks a lot. Let us have a couple of minutes for people to join in, and we are ready to start. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Let's do a geographical quiz as we always do. Now, instead of a plus, could I kindly ask you to tell me the city? Where are you now? Yes, and let's see the geography. Okay, Yerevan, Bishkek, okay, Moscow, right? Yerevan, so many colleagues from Yerevan, great. Okay, Bishkek, yes, Almaty, that's perfect. Kazakhstan, Uralsk, Astana, Tashkent, okay. Uzbekistan, Navai, Atyrau, Kazakhstan, great, great. Okay. Yes, Kyrgyzstan. So many colleagues from Kyrgyzstan today. That's lovely. And Uzbekistan, Tashkent. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are very happy you are joining. Let us have a couple of minutes. Yes. Good. Yes, the same. The same. I'm very happy to see you all. I can't see you, but I feel you are here. Okay. Good. Thank you for coming. Yes. Good. Yes, Uzbekistan. Yes, Kyrgyzstan. That's very good. Mhm. Okay, so people are coming. Okay. Good, good. So Kazakhstan. Yes, so many people from Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Yes, Bishkek. Perfect. Of course, yes, Nurila. We do hope we can give you something interesting. Yes. Good, good, good. Okay. Good evening all. Just a couple of minutes and we are ready to start. Hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, so people are coming. Let's have just 1 minute. Yes, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan. Good, good, fine. Yes. And Armenia. Yes, very nice. Okay. So Turkey, that's good. Turkey is joining. Hope you are doing fine in Turkey. Yes. Yes, definitely. If you have a poor internet connection, all the recordings will be sent to you. Don't worry, alongside with the certificates. Don't worry. So the recordings will be available. Okay, good. So I see people are joining. So this is just 1 minute past 3, and I think we can start. I mean, right now. I wonder if Anna is here. Anna, are you here? Can you join us? And we are ready to start.
Hello, Elena.
Hello, Anne.
Yeah,
It's lovely to see you.
good to see you too.
Yes, great. Great. So we are around to start, and I probably give some information as usual, if you don't mind. Okay?
Of course.
Yes, okay. So my dear colleagues, hello and welcome. I am your moderator, Elena. As you probably know, I'm a country manager for Armenia, Belarus and Central Asia at Cambridge University Press and Assessment. So first of all, thank you a lot for taking the time to join us today as we talk about TKT, Teaching Knowledge Test. I think Anna will share some secret tips in this virtual masterclass to help you overcome all challenges and build effective TKT preparation. So I think that by the end of this webinar, you'll definitely leave feeling confident because we'll give you practical examples and also some good tips how to prepare for TKT modules 1, 2, and 3. So, but let's start again and again with some housekeeping. First, please use Google Chrome. If you are using mobile phones for our webinar, please be advised that the webinar app is available for both iOS and Android devices. So please don't run any other applications on your computer because that can slow down your connection. So if you cannot hear the presenter, if you cannot see any slides, your first step would be to refresh the webinar page or please reconnect your internet network. That's important. So to make sure that we are helping you as best as we can, please be aware we have 2 boxes on the platform to source your questions on the one hand and comments on the other hand. We'll answer all your questions by the end of the presentation or during the presentation. So feel free to drop questions in the special question box in the right top hand corner. And put your comments because I know Anna will be asking you lots of questions. Please put all your answers in the chat box, okay? So please don't worry about making notes since we'll send the sessions recordings in 3 or 4 days. Certificates. So all the certificates will be emailed to you in case you have attended this live webinar, okay? So we'll have the next session on the 23rd and the 24th of February. So you need a separate registration for each day. Okay, so during this webinar, I will forward some links for you. Okay, so I'm so pleased to be with you and have the chance to introduce our trainer, Anna Kashcheeva. She is a Cambridge presenter, she is a CELTA trainer, she is a Delta trainer. Anna has been working as a teacher and teacher trainer for many years. She's got a very deep understanding of all Cambridge exams because she's a Cambridge examiner. So finally, I would say she's just a very kind and a very fascinating person, and we're all in for a treat today. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Anna Kashcheeva, and we can start. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you for introducing me, Elena. Yeah, that's amazing. I wanted to introduce myself, but now I don't have to do that. So thank you very much. So yeah, let's get started then. So hopefully we have some newbies here, those who didn't attend any of the webinars of mine. yeah, because I'll be giving some general information about TKT to start with, but we'll be also looking at some specific examples. And of course, for those who have joined us for the second or maybe the third time with me, I prepared some new examples, yeah? And of course, we'll be talking about strategies a lot. I'm sure you are reflective practitioners and you want to get the most out of this experience and prepare for TKT, yeah? Which is why you probably need to focus on some workable things, yeah? What can be done? How to be better aware of the requirements, for example, of TKT, yeah? And also how to cope with different challenges, yeah? Because the tasks are of different level of challenge. Some of them are very straightforward and you'll be able to just give your responses right away without preparing much, without thinking even much. The idea is, of course, to produce those automatic responses for all of the answers, yeah, for all of the questions, I mean. However, don't be too fast. So the first tip I'm going to give right away, read the instructions carefully. That's the first thing. All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. And we are ready to get started, right? So let me just find the control buttons. And the first thing I usually do, I like running different types of icebreakers. I want to know something about you, but first I want to introduce myself. Elena told you that I'm a Delta and Delta trainer, and of course that I'm involved in a variety of teacher training events that I have to run on a regular basis, including some mini conferences for teachers. I'm also running a teaching community, so if you're interested in joining, just drop me a line. I'll leave my contact details at the end of the webinar. You will see the final slide with my contact details. Anyway, what you can see here on the slide, does it ring a bell? What do you think it means? Any guesses? Yeah. Okay, let's try to make this webinar as interactive as possible, yeah? I'll be asking you a lot of questions, yeah? So, yeah. Yeah, okay, so you can see different teaching contexts, yeah? So multitasking, oh yeah, that's all me, absolutely right, yeah. Different purposes, different areas of teaching English, absolutely right, yeah. A kind of diagram, yeah, if you want, you can find, yeah, call it a mind map. Yeah, different steps, maybe for some teachers, it might be some kind of, stages in their professional development. Great, yeah, directions, yeah, very good. Yeah, type of learners, exam preparation, good, okay, amazing. Now, what I wanted to highlight, yeah, my teaching experience. So if you want to put it on a kind of timeline, yeah, so I started working with young learners, actually. When I was a student at my first university, I started working with young learners, and I really enjoyed that. It was demanding, challenging, but still enjoyable. No matter that I had no idea what I was doing at that time. I was completely unaware of the methodologies, and my language awareness was poor, everything. But, you need to give it a go, right? And I was given that nudge, just wanted to earn some pocket money as a student. I did a very short course, like how to teach preschoolers, and I started working as a teacher. And then gradually, I sort of realized that I was keen on continuing developing in that area, and shifted from translating and interpreting to teaching, doing a variety of courses and so on and so forth. So basically it's a kind of habit, yeah, I think for all teachers to work on professional development. And that's what you're doing right now. So I've worked with general English classes, exam preparation, as you've guessed, absolutely right. Yeah, I worked with young learners and adult learners. And having become a teacher trainer, yeah, I still have no intention of leaving the classroom anytime soon. I'm still running some courses, and that's where I can nick some, ideas, activities for my webinars and workshops. I think it's important here to show some real examples from the classes, from the classroom. And business English, I haven't mentioned that, but obviously I worked with some corporate students, and I think we used Business Result or something like that at that time. Anyone, are you familiar with this course book, Business Result? Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, okay, awesome. So what I'm saying is I had varied experience. I'm still teaching. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it gives me a buzz. So if you like teaching, if you like what you do, type in a plus in the chat box. Right, exactly. Yes, awesome. Teachers are great enthusiasts. Yeah, in my experience, I haven't seen another type of teacher. Well, especially a teacher of English. I don't know about biology teachers, though. They might be different, have no idea. Yeah, but teachers of English, they are open to new ideas because that's how we learn about different cultures, right? Yeah, exactly. We all like our profession. Now, from the areas I've highlighted, think about your experience, either young learners, adult learners, exam preparation classes, general English, business English, you can use acronyms BE, GE, right? Type in the chat box what you are keen on doing, maybe what you'd like to start doing, I don't know. So it'll help me understand how to adjust, my presentation, which examples will be more relevant for you. Yeah, young learners, you have quite a lot, yeah. General English, yep. Adult classes, all right. General English, exam preparation, yeah, okay. Yeah, Cambridge exam are very popular, yeah. Maybe IELTS preparation, TOEFL, something of that kind, yeah. Yeah, IELTS, good. Academic classes, I think that's what you mean, yeah. Great, amazing. Yeah, I'm also running a course for university students, yeah, and the course is a kind of introduction to academic writing, which I am enjoying a lot, apart from marking. It's so time consuming, it's just crazy. But yeah, great, communicate. Okay, yeah. So developing a communicative competence, that we are all aiming at something like that, absolutely, yeah. ASP, good. English for academic purposes, yeah, specific purposes, I think all, yeah, great. All our students are different and we need to consider their needs. So needs analysis is something that we're doing right now, yeah. That's what you can do with your students too. So you can give your example about something relevant to learning English, and you can ask them to compare and share what experience they've got, yeah, something like that. So great. Now I have a couple of other questions related to your teaching context, yeah, because it might be different. I've mentioned that I'm working for one of the Russian universities right now. Yeah, it's actually quite a nice program there with an international diplomas and everything. So some of the subjects are delivered in English and so on. So that's a good one. Yeah, so actually it's a kind of combination of High School of Economics project and National Economic School, yeah. Right, so if you're working for a private, oh yeah, I can see you got the hint, yeah. Private schools, state school teachers, good, yeah. Language centers, private schools, right. Charities, oh amazing, yeah. Well, I've mentioned my teaching community. I also run quite a lot of voluntary events for teachers, so yeah, great. Good. Great. It's good that we have many different people, yeah, from different walks of life. Basically, if we share ideas, we are going to learn a lot, yeah, and that's what my intention is like. Yeah, okay, great. Anyone who is doing something with an element of CLIL, like you have to teach another subject maybe, or I don't know, you're using some elements of CLIL? No? No, okay, yeah. Well, yes, if you have to deliver something on psychology or economics, yeah, in English, then there will be, yeah, hard CLIL. Exactly, yeah. Chemistry, wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I wish I could do that. Science, amazing. All right, yeah. You see, we have already touched upon some methodology because CLIL is one of the methods, approaches, yeah, in teaching, a combination of content area and language teaching, yeah, exactly. And if you use some elements of crafts, yeah, different types of projects, probably you ask your students talk on a variety of topics, and there are some cultural aspects, yeah, those are the principles of CLIL, yeah, you know, there are 4 C's, big C's, yeah, in CLIL. Culture, content, communication, and cognition. And all of these principles are relevant for all of our lessons, to be honest, right? Because teaching English can't be done without developing thinking skills, yeah, communicative skills. We've mentioned the communicative competence already. Yeah, what else? Content and culture. Yeah, it's always there. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. Right. So my aims for today are still the same: to raise the awareness of what TKT is like, what the requirements are likely to be, task types, registration procedures, and so on. But because I've talked about that many times, yeah, for different people, I'm sort of thinking how to do it in a different way, shifting towards something more interesting for teachers, because I'm sure you've come here also for some kind of inspiration, yeah. Yeah, yeah, great. Okay, so let's have a look. So what TKT is like, yeah, because you are interested in taking the exam, I assume you know that that's what can help you build confidence, yeah. Even just studying some sample tasks can help, and that's what we'll be doing today. Of course, I sometimes use my own examples from my lessons, but I try to consider how TKT could be implemented there, embedded there, yeah, in our discussion somehow. And so if your employer wants you to take the test, yeah, I totally understand them, because it's a kind of sign that teachers are familiar with many different techniques and the most important principles. That's what it is, yeah. Teaching knowledge tests, some basic principles, something reliable. Right. So I used to show this Cambridge English teaching framework for some time. I still like using it because honestly, I think this is the best reference for us as teachers. Sometimes we forget what teaching is like, what are the components there, how can we become better teachers. So you can see I've highlighted 4 levels: foundation, developing, proficient, and expert, yeah. So probably TKT level is somewhere in developing, yeah, somewhere in the middle. And CELTA level is, well, initially it was considered like foundation level, but now I think CELTA is so popular. Many teachers come with already a degree in teaching, yeah, and they just want to get some practical ideas. So I think it might be also somewhere like developing and even further. And then Delta level teachers, yeah, those who want to jump from basic level to something like expert level, yeah, they might be aware of a wide range of techniques, different types of principles, and they're keen on developing professionally. But the thing is, what are their criteria? I've covered them, so now we can't see them, which is a shame, of course, but I'll be revealing them step by step, having elicited from you. So please keep using the chat box. Now we are looking at the first line that defines, yeah, I'll read it out. I know the letters might be too small. but I wanted to show you the whole grid as it appears in all handbooks, Cambridge handbooks. Let's focus on foundation level, yeah? Such teachers have a basic understanding of some language learning concepts, okay? They demonstrate a little of this understanding when planning and teaching. So what do you think that might be about? What's their core area that I'm highlighting here? Yes, it's band one, absolutely right. Yeah, actually, it's good that we have, you know, 4 bands in TKT. Yeah, and here we also have 4 levels, 4 stages in development. Yeah. So, okay. So we have some understanding of, yeah, exactly, learning and the learners. Absolutely. This criteria comes first, yeah, in this teaching framework. And to be honest, I think it's one of the most important ones, right? Without understanding our learners, we can't teach them, yeah, we can't meet their needs. We can cater for differences, yeah, and so on. We can't be responsive practitioners if we don't understand what they need and things like that, because sometimes, you know, they assume they know what they need and they have certain expectations, but their needs are different, yeah, and we need to find out them. Yeah? All right, let's look at the second line. There are quite a lot of comments there, right? So what it is, what it might be, yeah? Basic understanding of what? Principles of teaching, learning, and assessment. And that's what we'll be talking about a lot today, because that's what TKT Model 1 is like, yeah? It's about principles of teaching, learning, and assessment. Also using these techniques in the lessons, yeah, and creating tests and running different testing procedures, right? Those things. Yeah, methodology. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They call it teaching, learning, and assessment. Yeah, that kind of criteria. But yes, you're right. So the methodology, the core criterion. Yeah, the core criterion. We need to be aware of that. Absolutely. Okay, let's focus on the third one, because everything, there are some overlaps between the criteria. So they can provide accurate examples of language points taught at different levels. Yeah, well, here for basic level, yeah, A1 and A2 level, and then the higher we go, the better it is. Yeah, expert level, of course, is aware of many different things, even C2 level. Yeah, language ability. Yeah, okay, so good, proficiency. So this is called language ability, and you're right, yeah? If you have a CPE certificate, so you've sort of justified actually and proved that you are an expert there in this area. You know the language, you know the subject you are teaching, which is awesome. Great, let's move on. The next criterion is connected to the previous one. They're aware of some concepts related to language. They can actually explain some of the points, yeah, with minimal reference to reference books, materials, and so on, some support. Accuracy, interesting, yeah, language knowledge. You see, we have language ability, so you can actually use English, right? And the next one is language awareness. So it's your knowledge, right? Deep understanding. Yeah. Okay. And finally, last but not least, yeah, often neglected, the criterion related to reflection skills. Yeah, the ability to respond to feedback, your open-mindedness, just your attitude toward teaching, professional development, even communicating with colleagues, everything. So it's quite concise. Feedback, some people are saying. Content knowledge, not so sure. Reflection, yeah, that's better. Feedback, but what kind, so yeah, you got the idea. Yeah, you feel that there is something like reflection and professional development there. Yeah, very good. And I think this is key to success, right? Professional development and values. This is your attitude towards your job. And I am sure you all agree that professional development is ongoing. It's continuous. It's never ending for us. We are teachers. We have to, exactly. This is CPD, right? Yeah, we can't stop learning. Even if we are native speakers or we are non-native speakers, it doesn't depend on that. It's not only about language awareness and language ability. It's about content knowledge. It's about awareness of different techniques, principles, methodologies, and so on and so forth. And that's why TKT actually is updated regularly. Yeah, and if you look at some sample papers from the past, they used to be quite simple and straightforward, but now Khalil appeared there. Yeah, so you might be asked a question and you will have to identify some principles behind that. Yeah, or I don't know, dogma approach, material flight lessons. So some recent methodologies are also being assessed. So you have to be aware of that. So you have to catch up. Yeah, on a regular basis, of course. Yes, that too. Yeah, I totally agree, because we live in a non-English speaking environment. We also need to work on our language skills. And yeah, it is also ongoing. Yeah, yeah. Personal relevance. Oh, is it from one of the captions here? Hold on, let me find it. Which line is it? I don't know. Yeah, I would have clarified that if I knew what you wanted me to clarify, honestly. But perhaps if it appears on one of the criteria descriptions, yeah, it might be about relevance to your teaching context, yeah, if it is relevant for you personally, because if you are at an expert level in language awareness or language ability, perhaps you don't need to spend too much time or waste too much time on continuing that. Yeah, your priority might be to focus on methodology, yeah, recent methods, catching up with experts in different areas like the lexical approach, yeah, which is quite trendy at the moment, and working with, I don't know, like corpus research or something like that. So it should be relevant for you, yeah? Yeah. I think online TKT exam is not available, but we can ask Elena. She will give you more information about that. Right, let's continue. Remember, at the beginning, I've mentioned that I'm a Celta and Delta trainer, and obviously we are working on TKT. I've been delivering TKT courses also for ages. So here we can see the descriptions of the most popular teaching qualifications. Now, who can identify where can we find TKT? If it is in the middle, at the top, or at the bottom. Yeah, the descriptors are given, which is about essential skills, which is about just knowledge, and which is more advanced blend of theory and practice. Yes, TKT is the second one. Yeah, you're well aware of that. Exactly. Yeah, because TKT assesses your teaching knowledge, and at CELTA level, yeah, which is very practical, you are just given different techniques that you can put into practice and demonstrate in your lessons, perhaps without deep understanding of the principles, right? At TKT level, you have to show your understanding. At Delta level, it's both theory and practice. So you will have to give lessons, but you will also have to justify the choice of techniques, methods, activities, and so on, right? Yeah, I think you can rejoin from another gadget. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Okay. Now let's focus on TKT. That's our priority for today. So here I've got the directors of studies, speech about TKT, some benefits of TKT. So let's have a look for a moment and add some more ideas why TKT might be useful for teachers. Yeah, use the chat box. He's saying that TKT is a good starting point, but I know a Delta qualified teacher who took TKT just because they wanted to confirm their level. Yeah, so things happen. Yeah, refresh and revise. Exactly. Yeah, it is quite practical if you consider it wisely. Like if you look at the activities and also reflect on your teaching experience, that'll be very practical. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Just for professional development, just to keep up, up to date and test yourself occasionally, because, every time it is a different test and they're giving fresh examples, from teaching practice. Yeah, useful activities. Exactly, I quite like reading, what examples they're giving there in sample papers. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So it's important to stay up to date. Great. Okay, now, I know that some of you are experienced teachers. Some of you might be even university graduates with a teaching degree or a degree in linguistics. So do you think TKT is good for you? So who is TKT actually good for? Yes, it helps with classroom management, absolutely right. So you can become aware of some techniques, by looking at the examples given, And again, you can apply some of the things that you didn't know. Methods for teachers, for some, newly qualified teachers, just teachers of English, Those who are interested, in finding out more about methodology, And actually, if who love methodology, I like this idea, For any teacher, actually, it can be even for those who is not a teacher yet. So, and that's how they can become aware of many different useful things, right? Related, teaching related, not experienced, any type of teacher, absolutely right. Teachers of other subjects, you've mentioned that some of you give lessons in other subjects, so if you are a teacher of chemistry, for example, or history, and you want to start doing the same thing in English, or you want to just teach English, because your English is good enough, TKT might be really helpful, So those who want to change their career, those who want to stay and still develop professionally, and so on and so forth. So it's quite a universal tool if you want, and that's what they're saying officially, If you work with young learners, go for it, And there is even a model on young learners, If you work with secondary school children, for example, or even university students or adult learners just in general, it's also useful. And there are no formal entry requirements. Isn't it nice? So you don't have to be approved for that. You just register, you sign up for the test, and this is it. You just choose the date, which is convenient for you, right? Easy to do, really, and worth doing. Now, experienced TKT takers or TKT trainees. Do you know how many models are available right now? How many questions? Okay, let's focus on that. 3 models. Okay, 3 models. If we talk about the core models, then yes, 3. But there are 2 more specialism models, right? Young learners and 2 more, exactly. And CLIL, And if you are advanced enough, if you work with ESP, AAP, higher level students in general, I think CLIL will be particularly helpful. And of course, subject teachers and so on, Yeah, so I could see quite a lot. 80 questions. Yes, 3 hours if you put them together, but actually even more, because you are given 80 minutes for answering 80 questions. Each model will be of the same length. If you take all 3 models in a row, of course, yeah, you just multiply 80 by 3. It'll be more than 3 hours, obviously. If you want to take 5 models in a row, I think it's not a good idea, honestly. And some people even split and they take model by model. Yeah, like this weekend, I'm going to take this model. In a couple of weeks, I can register and take another test. Yeah, and it makes more sense because you'll be full of energy, hopefully concentrated. Yeah, and it's just easier. Right. So what I'm highlighting, yeah, now all the blurbs disappeared, and you can see that, yes, there are 5 models, 80 minutes for each, yeah, and you'll have to answer only 80 questions. Will you have to write something there? Will you have to write, like on the answer sheet? Oh, different answers. Some people say yes. Well, if you say yes, could you please type in what you have to write, you think? And I'll want to yes. Cool. Okay. TKT is the same, yeah, all over the globe. So it can't be, no, not 50-50. Yeah. No. It's just, yeah, exactly. On the answer sheet, I'll show you the answer sheet in a moment. Yeah, it's just shading the lozenges, yeah, choosing the right answer. You don't have to write physically anything. You won't be including your ideas, but you'll be relying on your background knowledge, of course, right? Yes, mostly multiple choice and matching. Good job. Yeah, absolutely right. If we compare TKT and Delta, yeah, Delta Model 1 is also a test, and there you will have to produce longer written responses, but that's a different kettle of fish. We're not talking about that right now. What is good again, yeah, because it's manageable, you can take models step by step. You can earn certificates for each model, yeah, and every time you'll be rewarded for that, which is amazing, I feel. You can't fail TKT, that's another thing, yeah. Whatever test you are taking, even if it is too challenging for you, you'll earn the certificate, right? Yeah, and please find the test dates on the website, Cambridge website, to find the most convenient for you. Now, what you have to be aware of, right? Quite a lot of principles. We've started mentioning some of them already, so it's just basically everything teaching related, yeah. In the first model, there is a nice mixture of methods, principles, methodologies. Oh, actually, I have a couple of mistakes here on the slide, guys. I am terribly sorry. Perhaps I was busy typing on this slide and I didn't notice that there are a couple of things that are not in the right order. Guys, can you help me? What's the first line about? Have a shared level of knowledge of different teaching. What's that? There is something wrong there. The letters are not in order. Let's unjumble the letters, please. Oh, some people are really good. Methodologies, absolutely right. Yes, okay. Yeah, different principles, approaches, methods, techniques. Yeah, methodologies, that's what we can put. Okay, how about the second bullet point? Who can help me? Planning, lesson planning, yes. So we need to understand different lesson shapes. If it is a lesson on skills, again, what type of skills, receptive or productive? If it is a lesson on systems, then which procedure we are going to take, like test, teach, test, or presentation, practice, production. And there are some other lesson frameworks highlighted, yeah, in TKT books and the glossary. Yeah. Yeah, then we have classroom management, you're right, and teaching resources, absolutely right, yeah. Okay, smart of you. Good. So thank you for helping me out. Yeah, now I fixed everything, so you can check if you have the same ideas. You know, this is a very little trick, but obviously your learners won't be interested if you show them, if you give them all the information right away, if you pretend there is a problem, if you elicit more from them, they'll be more actively involved, yeah, and that helps learning. All right, so we are going to look at the bands, yeah. The band description is here. As I have already said, you can't fail TKT, which is amazing. It's like YLE exams, yeah, for kids, the same thing. Everyone will earn their certificate. So the thing is, yeah, if you put a lot of effort into that, I'm sure you can achieve a higher band. You can show a wide range of techniques, yeah, awareness of those, and good knowledge of content areas, yeah. And the content areas we've already talked about, yeah. I had several points there on the slide. It's still about different principles, and some of the principles that we can put into lesson planning and classroom management, yeah, and so on. So a combination of everything. Yeah, and for each model, you will get this type of certificate stating the number of the model and your band. Yeah. I think band 3 is really manageable, especially if you are an experienced teacher. But you need to stay focused because there will be some distractors. Yeah, 80 minutes, we've just talked about that, how long it takes. It takes just 80 minutes, just imagine. And in an hour and 20 minutes, you can earn the certificate. Yeah, just as easy as that, yeah. Take model 1 first, because that's the logical progression, yeah. It'll make sense to work on model 1 first. Yeah, so if you are an experienced teacher, I was trying to say, yeah, and even a university graduate, your language awareness should be good enough, yeah. And hopefully you can rely on your principles, some basic principles, yeah, of classroom management and just running lessons. And obviously, if you work with a variety of books, yeah, from different publishing houses like Cambridge University Press, yeah, Macmillan, well, different publishers, then probably you are aware of typical procedures of lessons, yeah. If there is a text and a lesson around the text, so it's likely to be like leading, making predictions, reading for gist, for example, yeah, reading for specific information or detailed comprehension, and then some kind of post-reading productive activity. And this is something straightforward, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to teach internationally, I don't know, because it might be the requirements of some schools, some educational establishments. If you want to apply for a job, you need to find out which model to take. But TKT 3 models is widely recognized. Yeah, all 3 models. Right, so what you need to do to prepare to take this test and pass it with flying colors. Of course, everyone wants to achieve band 3 or 4, yeah, 4 preferably. So what you can do, first, you can take a sample test, yeah, and identify some gaps in knowledge. Second, you can focus on the areas you need to work on, yeah, how you can upgrade your level, how you can answer some of the questions faster, and so on and so forth. Yeah, then check that you know all the terms listed in the glossaries, and you know the task types. Yeah, we are going to talk about the strategies just in a moment. Do as many sample tests as you can find, yeah, from different books, from websites. Yeah, there are plenty of them. Not officially recognized, unfortunately, but you know, there are a few official tests as well, like on the Cambridge website. And then also reflect on your teaching practice. So you've read something about, for example, classroom management techniques. Consider if you are using them enough in your lessons. If not, why not? What makes them suitable or unsuitable? Things like that. So constant reflection can help you prepare for the test. Yeah. So being evaluative, reflective, and analyzing a variety of principles that you are reading about. Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, I'm showing on the slide that all of the TKT models are paper-based. Yeah, I am sure there will be some changes in the future, and there will be an online test. Yeah, it used to be available in the past in some centers. Yeah, but now we have only paper-based. Right. Yeah, so again, if I were you, I would probably go in the order. Model 1 first, then Model 2, then Model 3, and then some areas of specialism, for example, young learners or CLIL, yeah, in that progression, because the level of challenge will be increasing. At the same time, if you are interested in focusing on lesson planning, perhaps you can start with Model 2. But bear in mind that some of the principles related to lesson planning, yeah, come from Model 1 content areas. And obviously, if you haven't brushed up on different methodologies, you can't start planning your lesson wisely. Yeah, it'll be done intuitively, but we want it to be a conscious process. Right. Yes. So as for the booklets, yeah, you'll get 2 booklets, yeah, on a test day when you enter the room. You'll be given a booklet with the questions and a booklet for the answers, a kind of answer sheet. It's not a booklet, actually. There will be your name at the top, and then you have 80 spaces for 80 answers. And yes, you just shade in the lozenges showing which answer is correct. So for example, if it's multiple choice, A, B, or C, and you shade in B if you think it is the correct answer. This is the only thing you have to do. You don't write anything. There aren't lines there for writing. Mm-hmm. One of the tips, actually, before we go to this one, yeah, it's better to use a pencil. And actually, the instruction is there on that answer sheet. Use a pencil. Somehow, computers don't recognize pens well. So, yeah, it should be in pencil. But it's good because you can erase some of the incorrect answers, yeah, and make them correct. So, pencils. Now, something practical. Find out as much as possible about the test, whatever the model you want to take. Read about it first. Yeah, find some YouTube videos, yeah, from test takers, yeah, and experts, of course. And then find sample tests. Do something, yeah. Then, yeah, download online resources that are available at Cambridge website. There will be the handbook with some sample questions. There will be a glossary, at least one. Yeah, you can find available. In the past, there used to be another glossary, but this one is up to date that you can find on the website, and sample papers, right? Those are a must. Yeah, without these things, you can't prepare well, obviously. But if you want to be impeccable, perhaps you need some other useful materials, right? Well, something obvious that I'm showing you here, TKT course book, right? It gives you more sample tests, more information about terminology, some questions for reflection and evaluation, and plenty of stuff, basically, only for TKT preparation. There is one course book for TKT, core models. Yeah, all 3 models come in one book. Yeah, and a separate TKT course book for young CLIL. Oh, sorry, for CLIL model. Yeah, for young learners there is no course book, but I can recommend you Jane's Moon book, Teaching Young Learners. It covers all important areas. Now, Scrivener. Jim Scribner's book, Learning Teaching. Yeah, this source is recommended for CELTA trainees. It's also useful for TKT takers. Yeah, so it's a very nice book. A very interesting read. First of all, you can find some good examples from lessons, yeah, from different teachers, experienced teachers. And Essential Teaching Knowledge, yeah, that kind of book from Jeremy Harmer, a collection of useful techniques for a variety of things. And because it says essential teacher knowledge, yeah, it rings a bell. It's really, really good for TKT. Also, I have a whole list of different sources, and some of the sources might be more useful than others, but here, if you are interested in language awareness type of thing, yeah, like you want to analyze language, understand better how to answer questions about grammar, vocabulary, things like that, phonology, yeah, there are specific sources, of course, like English Phonetics and Phonology by Peter Roach, or Teaching English Grammar by Scribner, yeah, or even probably you know well such authors as Swan and Parrott, yeah, Grammar for English Language Teachers, those things. Yeah, if you are beyond that level and you still want some inspiration, then you can find the book by Scone Thornberry. It's called About Language. I usually recommend that book for Delta trainees. So it will give you more ideas what's behind language and how it can be taught. Now, what knowledge do we need? Yeah, we need to know a lot. Yeah, and some of the principles are highlighted here. Which of them do you think is the most important? Guys, use your ideas. Type me something in the chat. Yeah, the list will be available. Yeah, it's on one of my slides. Remember, you will get the slides, the presentation, and the recordings, yeah, in a couple of days. So don't worry too much. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, thank you. Effective planning. But again, how can you plan effectively and efficiently? Yeah, if you don't know much about the principles of teaching and learning, like how languages are learned. Yeah. By the way, another useful book. By Lightbound and Prada. Right. Yeah, okay, great ideas. But basically, all of these points are taken from TKT handbook. Yeah, some of the questions will cover these areas. Yeah, and there will be a healthy combination of different areas, of course. Yeah, usually the tests are balanced. Right, let's focus on the first model. That's what we are doing today. So we have quite a lot of time. I'll give you some examples. Now, you've mentioned already in the chat box, I've seen, what task types are available in TKT. We have matching, multiple choice, and most importantly, and the trickiest one, odd one out. It looks similar to matching or multiple choice, but you have not in the instructions. It is confusing, absolutely right, Ida. Yeah, so some people just don't see not, even if it is highlighted, underlined, still challenging. You start reading questions and you attempt to circle the right answer. But the problem is there will be two right answers and you need to identify the wrong answer there. That's what makes it confusing. Yeah. So, which is why we just need to practice more and build confidence. It should be a kind of habit, right? Now, when we talk about teaching in general, usually we talk about differentiating. Yeah, the lessons can be either on skills or on systems. I'm sure you're all aware of what type of receptive productive skills and types of systems are covered in TKT, right? But those are the most important points highlighted here. Of course, it's not enough. This is just surface level. Now, what we need to do is to delve into that, right? So, Okay, so let's have a look at the first two, scheming and inferring meaning. What skill is that about? Type your ideas in the chat box. Reading, absolutely right. Yeah, so scheming is the synonym for reading, for looking through, yeah. Gist, yeah, reading for gist. And inferring meaning is something more complex, and we usually develop this skill step by step, yeah. So who can help me identify meaning? Yeah, so it's basically what's the meaning behind, like reading between lines, if there is irony, yeah, sarcasm there or something like that, yeah, deducing exactly, yeah. So relying on the context, yeah, and understanding the context, understanding the genre of the text, yeah, and attitude of the writer, yeah, which is quite a challenging thing sometimes, yeah. We have inferring and listening, which is even more tricky, but you know, you can rely on pronunciation patterns, and that can help. And some other non-linguistic features as well. In reading, it's just, you know, you can see a paragraph and you have to figure something out, yeah. If they want to recommend, for example, that film or not, yeah. If they're saying, yes, go for it, does it mean always a recommendation? Not exactly, yeah. So you need to understand the whole thing. Right, then we have interactive strategies and fluency, and I can see some of you are saying it's about writing or speaking. Well, interactive strategies is obviously about speaking. Fluency can be applied to both writing and speaking, but productive skills for sure. Topical vocabulary, organizational features like layout, yeah, understanding what makes a text coherent and cohesive, those things, they are mostly about writing skills, but can be applied to speaking as well. Then, especially if you have to give a presentation, right, it'll be well organized, hopefully. Then using noun phrases, different tenses, understanding aspects, not overusing aspects. Yeah, some people, like having learned the present perfect, they keep using that tense every now and again. Yeah, and it sounds like shouting all the time, exaggerating everything, too emphatic. Yeah, which is inappropriate. So understanding those. Then types of meaning and word formation. It's more about lexical areas, yeah, vocabulary. And finally, intonation connected speech, the symbols, yeah, from the phonemic alphabet. So all the phonemes, yeah, some rules related to stress shift, for example, yeah, or sentence stress, yeah, things like that. Intrusion, assimilation, things like that, yeah. So everything will contribute to phonology, absolutely right, yeah. I think all of the areas go together, and I'm sure in your lessons you have to cover all of them. But in TKT, you will take a look at some of the questions, and you'll have to focus on one of the areas at a time usually. So let's focus on functions. Yeah, functional language is tricky because no matter what the structure you are using, sometimes even the words are not really important. Yeah, we understand the meaning somehow. So how to help our students understand those and start using them naturally. Yeah, like for example, if you ask how are you, you're likely to receive an answer, I'm fine. Yeah, maybe even I'm fine, thanks, and you? Even better, right? These two utterances go back to back. Yeah, quite often we use them. And we don't have to explain to our students, like, we have the verb to be in the present simple tense. Yeah, you have to use you and are. And in your response, you have to say I am. Yeah, because we use this form of the verb to be with I. You don't do it. You just teach it as a chunk because it's useful. And every lesson, when you see your beginners, you probably ask them, how are you? And they start responding to you. Yeah, gradually, step by step, they're getting used to that. So it's a type of motivation, yes, but it's also a kind of habit that we build. And that's how we deal with functional language all the time. Function is relevant, we use it, right? So we need to create certain situations for our learners to teach functional language. Yeah, and there will be, of course, some clarification of form, patterns, whatever. Yeah, maybe you'll be running small talk, I don't know. But the thing is, yeah, if they have prefabricated chunks, they'll be more fluent and natural. Yeah, maybe facial expressions, TPR can help. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And let's focus on the last one. Yeah, you can see the picture, which clarifies the meaning a little bit. Yeah, and you can see the utterance. You did a very good job today. Yeah, give me high five, something like that. Yeah, what's the function of this utterance? Yes, to give feedback. Very good. Yeah, praise, absolutely. Yes, to praise your learners. Yeah, yeah, to highlight maybe their achievements as well. Yeah, to motivate them. Very good. But this is function. What else can we say to praise our learners? You did a very good job, okay, but we don't repeat it, yeah? What else can we say? Well done, yes, awesome. Oh, that's my favorite word. Yeah, yeah, excellent, great. Yeah, great, of course, fantastic. Yeah, lots of positive adjectives here, right? Yeah, perfect, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I quite like this utterance because it shows that this is not the end. Yeah, they will have to keep on doing that. Yeah, keep it up somehow. Yeah, today it was good, but continue. And they know it's a kind of process. And if you say, for example, perfect, they may think that they have already achieved everything. They've reached this kind of ceiling, yeah. But the sky's the limit, yeah. All right, awesome. So let's focus on 4 functions here. Give me an example of speculating. Type in your ideas in the chat box. How we can speculate. What phrases we can use for speculating. Well, okay, yeah, that's a good beginning, a starting point. Question tags, maybe. Yeah, I assume, good, I guess, very good. Yeah, yeah. We can also use modal verbs, yeah? Could be, exactly. Very good, amazing, yeah. Okay, awesome. Right, we are not going to cover all of them because I want to show you many different examples, but you can see some of the exponents that we can use for these functions. Yeah, so speculating, for example, I've got it might be. Obviously, you can find another exponent, another alternative. Yeah, you've typed a lot of them, and that's what functional language is like. We have one functions, but many different exponents, many different ways of expressing the function. And quite often in TKT task, you're asked to match exponents and functions, right? So that's what we are going to do right now. Yeah, the strategy for matching tasks are the following. You look at one thing at a time. You can't look at both options given. Yeah, both set of options. So let's look at functions and let's come up with the exponents. Then we'll look at the options too and think of the best matches. So how can we express a condition? Over to you. Use the chat box. If, absolutely right. Who is saying 1A? I don't have the question yet. I haven't shown you the question. Provided, good. Yeah, okay, lots of great ideas. Awesome. Okay, how can we give a reason? Yeah, because it's quite typically used. Yeah, that's why. As, very good, amazing. Since, Awesome. So you know a lot of conjunctions, yeah? So linking devices will give you a hint on the function, yeah? So we've just anticipated that. You will see some linking devices. Sometimes the content of the examples can help you as well. Okay, how about C? Show a result. What will be there? So, as a result, good. Oh, great. Yeah, finally. Okay, yeah, therefore, great ideas. Yeah, okay. Now, here is a sample test. Take some time and then type in the answers. For example, 1B or 2B or whatever. Yeah. Okay, I can see 2 correct answers at least. Yeah, awesome. Don't hurry, take your time. 3 is not C. Great ideas. Yeah, many correct answers. Some of you are a little bit confused here. Try to concentrate. Remember what we've just brainstormed. It should have helped. Yeah, and what do we use participle clauses for? What's the idea? Oh, okay, some people are sharing all the answers. Yeah, we have a problem with showing the result. Yeah, so there is a result and a reason. Might be confusing a little bit. So 5C, I agree. Yeah, that's good. How about number 3? What's number 3? I can see correct answers too. Yes, awesome. So let me show you the correct answers. So if there is a question, a problem, drop me a line, but this should be quite straightforward after our brainstorming activity. So you've given me correct responses, how we can express a condition, give a reason or show a result. Yeah, and now we are just identifying them here. This is it. Yeah, awesome. No, 3B is incorrect. Oh, yes, 3B, of course, sorry. 3B, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Good, Anna. Yeah, fantastic. You see, sometimes trainers lose concentration too. Yeah, it happens. Anyway, let's continue. We don't have much time to waste, right? So, usually when I talk about grammar, I talk about sentence formation, I talk about syntax, I talk about grammar, like in terms of tenses, aspects, and things like that. But honestly, this is not it. I mean, it's not only what we have to be aware of, right? So there will be some other things that we need to keep in mind. For example, phrasal verbs. What's the grammar behind that? Who can give me some rules related to phrasal verbs? Like when you teach phrasal verbs, what do you cover? Meaning, definitely, because meaning is likely to be idiomatic. Combination, separable, good. Some of them are separable, some of them are not. And if they are separable, that's tricky because of the word order. Yeah. When we use pronouns, it should be used between the verb and the particle. This one is tricky. Yeah, exactly. Context, yeah, and appropriacy can also come in handy. Yeah, you can remind your students of those things. Yeah, if they're transitive and transitive, exactly. Those things. Okay, that's just something to consider. So we're not going to talk about multi-word units, but we'll cover some other areas. Yeah, we can't cover everything in one session, obviously, but I'll give you some hints what you can delve into. So here is a text. I recently used it with my higher level students, university students. What's the topic of the text? Who can help me come up with the title? Let's do skimming. Well done, Mozabek. Yeah. digital age, museums, yeah, exactly. Those, a combination of those, yeah, exactly. New ways of attracting people to museums, something like that, yeah. Right, so modern museums, what they're like, right? Having skimmed the text, what can we do next? Yeah, so this is a lesson on systems, but we are using a text-based presentation. We are talking about modern museums first, and then we can find some examples of good language use. And because I work with high-level students who want to be better prepared for academic tasks, yeah, we need to learn how to write in an academic style. So what do you think we can, yeah, we can focus on vocabulary. Good. What else? Topics and good sentence, paragraph structure. Yeah, that can be a good idea. Absolutely right. Sentence structure in general. Yes, possibly. Yeah. Yeah, advanced grammar. What's that? Let's be specific. What advanced grammar we can focus on? Concluding sentences, possibly. Yeah. What grammar, Irina? It's not specific enough. Yes, presenting, supporting, yeah, okay, those, good. Yeah, a kind of hook, okay, good. Cohesion, I like it, yeah. Complex sentences, awesome. Yeah. Linking, yeah, good. Cohesion, yes, very good, very good. Okay, punctuation, probably, yeah. Subordinate clauses, good. Great ideas. However, because it's written in an academic style, yeah, there is another thing which is prominent here. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, and nobody has named that because it's not frequently taught. Grammar isn't important for reading, but it's important for writing. And I run a course on academic writing. I have to use a variety of text. Yeah, it's like text-based presentations. I show them different models and then we evaluate them, analyze them. Yeah. Anyway, noun phrases. Have a look. How many noun phrases you can see here? There are many, because in academic texts, we often shift towards using noun phrases more than verb phrases. Yeah. When I speak, of course, I don't use so many noun phrases. I tend to use verbs. Here, it's more natural to create noun phrases. Now, have you ever taught nominalization, a noun phrase, the structure of such a phrase, things like that? Type in a plus in the chat box. Yes, good. Yeah, I don't think many teachers do that, honestly. And in some books, it's just a neglected area. Anyway, so just to remind you, the main noun, the key noun, for example, in this phrase, the initial aim of the text, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so aim is the core noun, and the whole phrase is built around it. We call it the head. Before that, we have a pre-modifier and the determiner. Yeah? Obviously, they're optional. Sometimes there is nothing in front of the noun. Yeah. Basically, the minimal unit of a noun phrase is just one noun or a pronoun, perhaps. And sometimes we also have post modifiers, yeah, like prepositional phrases, like in this case, right? Things like that. Now you can see at the bottom of the slide, I'm highlighting what might function as a determiner, pre-modifier, or post modifier. But obviously the list is longer. What else can we use in front of the noun as a determiner or pre-modifier? Type in your ideas in the chat box. Adjectives, yeah, we have adjectives here. Something else that you can't. A noun, another noun, very good. A pronoun, absolutely right. What kind of pronouns can we use? Demonstrative, absolutely right. Good job. Possessive, oh, awesome. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, remember in TKT, they use tricky differences, you know, they differentiate between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Do you know the difference? which is which. A pronoun is basically something that we can use as a subject or an object, yeah? And a possessive adjective will be things like your, my, and so on, yeah. That difference is very important. Many people confuse that. Yeah, yeah, numerals. Yeah, absolutely right. Good job. So here I'm highlighting some other things that can be used in front of nouns and after nouns, right? Yeah, of course we can create compound adjectives based on this rule. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, but nobody has mentioned participles. They can also be used, like for example, yeah, I don't know, a shining sun, yeah, or an interesting lesson. Yeah, the same thing, ing form. Good. Now, going back to our text, we often use text-based presentation, don't we? Yeah, participle clause can also be used, absolutely. Now, what we have here, I found one possessive adjective, and I also have a list of other parts of speech that we can find here. So who can give me an example of a compound adjective in the text? I think there are a couple of here. Yeah, information rich in the first line. And yeah, later on, there is one more. Yeah. Okay, I think you're giving me your own examples, but yeah, that's also good. Yeah, remember in TKT, usually it's a kind of matching activity. You need to find the example given, which is why, oh yes, audiovisual, I can see that. It's not your invention. No, it comes from the text. You're right. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, let's move on. Let's find a demonstrative pronoun. Who can find it? This. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Okay, one more, definite article. That'll be the trickiest. Yeah, good. We have only one definite article, yeah? If it is indefinite though, yeah, it might be a little bit, slightly more challenging, but yeah, still an easy thing to do. A piece of cake. Now, a countable noun. Heart is actually tricky. It can be both countable and uncountable. Yeah. Yeah. Ways. Good. Yeah. Role. Yeah. Good. Okay. You got it. Awesome. Yeah. Of course, the list of things you can find in text is endless. So evaluate your teaching materials. Yeah. So what's the lesson you're going to run tomorrow? Are you going to use a recording or a text or something else? Yeah, there will be some example sentences perhaps you'll be giving to your students. So have a look, find what's behind, what's the grammar behind, yeah? Identify all parts of speech, identify the purpose, yeah, the function of each sentence or phrase or something, yeah? If there is perfect aspect, for example, if there are some verb patterns that are different, infinitives or gerunds, yeah, things like that. If there are modal verbs and if they're used intrinsically or extrinsically, yeah, if there is passive or only active voice, why, things like that, yeah. This is another strategy for exam preparation, evaluating materials. Yeah, and here is a sample task. Usually it's easier than the text that you can evaluate at home, which is why you'll be well prepared. So have a look. We have A, B, C, D, E options, and you have to match them to the examples highlighted. Yeah, when you're ready, share your ideas. Okay, so yeah, there is actually an overlap between subject pronoun. Oh, sorry, hold on. It's not a pronoun. Robert is a noun. Yeah, so no, it's not an overlap here. Remember, you have to match them with the underlined parts. in sentences. Okay, I can see that many of you coped well with this task. Yeah, so I'm highlighting the errors, yeah, the correct answers. Hopefully you have the same. If there is something confusing, let me know. Yeah, looks fine. Yeah, I think you have the same ideas. Awesome. Okay, so what's the strategy? Yeah, another strategy. We can look at the examples first, and then we can look at the options given, right? Then, having looked at the examples, you have already come up with some ideas what it might be, and then it's easier to find the right answer without being confused. Yeah. If you look at two things at the same time, quite often you are sort of misled, and you pick the right, the first idea that comes to mind. Yeah, not necessarily the best one. So consider all the options. Yeah, and another thing, hold on. There is always an extra option that you don't have to use. Remember that. And yeah, at the end, take a moment before flicking the page, yeah, to the next task. Have a look. Have you identified the one that you don't need? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, double check if you are using the answers correctly. Sometimes you're asked to use each of the answers once only. Sometimes you can use them several times, like multiple matching. You are given only 3 options, for example, and you'll be using them several times. Okay, now I have a sample task, but I'm not revealing the complete task. I'm showing you how to apply that strategy. Look at the examples. You don't see the options yet. You don't need them. What's the grammar behind he's called? Yeah, what's the tense? Passive. Okay. And what's the idea? Why do we use the passive voice there? What's the meaning? Yeah, passive, present passive. Good. Why do we use the present simple tense? Exactly. Other people call. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, so what kind of action is that? It's a fact. Not really a fact, I think. It's something, what do we call that? Isn't it something regularly happening? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people agree with me. Yeah, so, okay, awesome. Now, let's have a look at the second one. The first match is, what's the grammar behind that and why we have to use it? What's the meaning? Present simple. Okay, why? What's the meaning? It's on Wednesday. It's something, okay, factual again. Timetable, yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Something arranged already, yeah? Yeah. Okay. And finally, number 3. Yes, present perfect, absolutely right. What's the meaning of the present perfect in this case? A result. Okay, awesome. Now, having identified those, now we are ready to look at the options. Type in your answers. Okay, some people are so fast. Good. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about different strategies for matching tasks, and they seem working, right? That's amazing. So let's focus. Yeah. So I'm confirming the answers. Hopefully I've made you happy. Yeah. Now, we are going to focus on the strategies for multiple choice tasks. Now, again, to remind you, the trickiest thing is to identify if it is a real multiple choice task or an odd one out. If it is an odd one out, that's a different kettle of fish, right? So first, read the instructions carefully. Yeah, the instructions are slightly different each time. Now, identify if it is multiple choice, or you have to identify the incorrect answer, the one that doesn't belong there, right? Then eliminate the answers that are correct and double check. Yeah, okay, multiple choice, yeah, I know. Right, so let's have a look. Is it odd one out or multiple choice? It is painful a little bit, but even if you lose concentration, if you're focused, it'll be fine. Don't worry too much about that. Multiple choice, you think. How about not? Which does not contain exactly. So that's the first thing you do. You don't get confused. And those of you who are saying B are incorrect, because obviously that's an example of passive voice, wasn't opened. And yeah, giving up coffee, okay, is a gerund actually. So we need we need to eliminate that because it's a good answer, and we are not asked about good answers here. Good. Okay, now you're more attentive, I can see, right? And I'm showing you the correct answers. So in blue, I'm highlighting the right answers, but because we've been asked to identify the odd answers, I'm highlighting them by circling them. 1A, yes, and 2B. Exactly. And that's what you will have to highlight on the answer sheet. It's not very difficult, honestly. You just need this strategy, just follow it. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about phonology. I'm sure many teachers are keen on learning some terms related to phonology, yeah? Are you using the phonemic script? Are you? Yes, okay. Yeah, I prefer Andrew Underhill's chart. You can see it here. I like using it because, well, I've watched quite a few presentations of Andrew Underhill, and I'm keen on developing the muscular system, yeah, of our articulators. I think it's really helpful and important for our learners. And what I like is that we can use just our learners. We don't even have to use our articulators when we teach phonology, because we have this wonderful tool, this chart. So you can point to different symbols and dictate some words to the learners, and hopefully they'll understand how it is working. Like, first of all, how this chart is constructed. Yeah, it's designed in a very smart way, highlighting the articulators, yeah, which are low, which are open, which are high or back sounds, things like that. Like, for example, schwa is the most frequently used sound in English, yeah, in a neutral position, yeah, which is why it is in the middle of this chart, yeah. So when we are relaxed completely, something like that, right? Yes, you can use tongue twisters or lazy vowel. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and some other that are more tense vowels, yeah, where you have to spread your lips, for example, yeah, or use the back of your mouth. With consonants, obviously, you have to know which articulators should come together, like if they're bilabial or bilabial dental or alveolar sounds and things like that, right? Yeah, you can use mirror. Exactly. So there are many different ways. The most important thing for TKT takers is to be aware of all the symbols, right? So if you can find an example for each symbol, if you recognize them, you're fine. If not, just practice more, read more about them. I quite like English file. Yeah, at the back of the book, there are plenty of examples of different examples of different sounds. Yeah. For each phoneme, you can find some exceptions, obviously, yeah, some tricky pronunciation of some of the things, unpredictable things like English word choir, yeah. If you hear this word, you would never come up with the spelling. By the way, who can spell it out for me? Choir. Oh, good. Yes. Okay. I can see you are advanced in terms of language awareness. That's amazing. That's really helpful. Anyway, yeah, just imagine low-level students will see choir, yeah, somewhere in the text, how they'll be reading it out. And many teachers still use this kind of technique. Now read it out to me, yeah? And they show slides with the words written, and it's really confusing, honestly. Yeah, exactly. Have a look at the boxes. I'm showing you 4 boxes. In each box, there is something different. Yeah, but at the same time, the words are used in a combination because they share the same principle. So what's the principle? Stress, yeah. We are talking about word stress. So the first box is for the words that are stressed on the first syllable, which is a very frequent case, right? The second, so those that take the stress on the second syllable, which is another relatively frequent case. And then the third syllable or the fourth might be stressed as well, which is, well, it's not very helpful. Like in French, I think all the words will be, the stress will always fall on the last syllable, right? Here we don't have such a rule, so we need to think how to stress words. And honestly, stressing them accurately help greatly, right? If you don't stress your words accurately, quite often there is some confusion and maybe a breakdown in communication. Anyway, what are the rules related to stress in words? What do you think? What can we highlight? Okay, tone, yeah, okay. Aha, good job. So prefixes, suffixes, yeah, I hardly ever stressed. Yeah, that's a very good thing. The part of speech, because sometimes there is a shift, absolutely right, good job. Yeah, well, just, yeah, helping them with different syllables, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the affixation helps, yeah. If they notice the word building, they can identify the word stem. It's easier for them to see where the stress should fall, right? Yeah. Also, the stress before the suffix can often be stressed, like possibility, qualification, the same pattern, right? The syllable before the suffix. Yeah, absolutely right. And some word families can be drilled, like photography, yeah, is kind of tricky if you think about the whole word family. Now let's talk about connected speech a little bit. Here I'm showing you 3 rules. What is true? Let's choose A, B, or C. The first syllable of some words can be sometimes stressed, but not always. So A is not always true, I'm afraid. B, what do we mean by structural words? Yeah, like auxiliary verbs, prepositions, yeah. I did like your idea. Yeah, sometimes we stress structural words. Exactly. So those of you who are typing C, you are right. content words are usually stressed, and it's well formulated actually, usually, because sometimes some of the content words might not be really important for us, yeah, and they'll become weaker, and some other content words will be more important and we'll be highlighting them, yeah. But never and always are kind of signs that it's likely to be incorrect. So read carefully the wording, how the questions are formulated, and sometimes you'll get a hint right away by the task and how it is designed. Very good. Yeah, so I'm just confirming that C was correct. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, do you know these terms? So I'm highlighting a few. Intrusion. Yeah, I could have used assimilation as well here. What are they about? Do you know them? Oh, that's cool. I like when, okay, when you're curious, yeah? Okay. So just to keep the suspense, no, of course not. All of them are about features of connected speech. Well done, exactly. Joining sounds, linking. Good news, guys, you don't have to know all the terms. For TKT takers, all of them can be described and defined as linking, right? All of them are just linking. So for example, if I say car owner, and in one phrase, car owner, right? So R will appear between words, and that's how intrusion works. Yeah, there are different intrusive sounds that can appear, and they'll facilitate articulation. Yeah, catenation is just connecting the consonant of the previous word with the vowel sound of the next word. Yeah, so for example, I can't think of a word that starts with a vowel sound. Apple. Yeah, so red apple, red apple, red apple. D is connected with a. Red apple, right? Yeah, a lot of. That's a good example. Now, elision, yeah, when sounds disappear, and assimilation when sounds change slightly. So, for example, when you say green park fast enough, yeah, green will change to green park, because it's easier. M is closer to B than N, but they're very similar. They are both nasal sounds. Anyway, for TKT, it's not really important, because what you have to identify is if there is some linking between words or there isn't. So here you have an example from TKT sample papers, and some of the things are highlighted, like I am. Yeah, we're using the short contracted form, and there is an element of linking sounds there. Yeah, to there, again, we are connecting a weaker sound, yeah, with another weaker sound, yeah, and we put them together. J, d, yeah, something like that. Yeah, intonation patterns as well. Do you want anything? And other things like that. So a piece of cake, again, for TKT takers. If you want to delve into that, remember, I've highlighted book by Peter Roach, still a well-recommended source, and also Sounds Foundation by Adrian Underhill, of course. Now, have a look at the first line. I removed the questions, but you can see the options given. What do you notice about all of them? 2, 3, 4. What do you notice in terms of pronunciation, of course? Okay, so they are relatively short words, so there is only one syllable there, right? How many sounds, how many phonemes are there? Can you see it? They're very similar. Yeah, one syllable words. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in 2, we have T and U, only 2 phonemes. In 3, however, we have more, right? And in 4, again, we have only 2 phonemes. Okay, hold on. I didn't show you the questions. What kind of answers are you typing? Just wait a sec. We're just talking, right? Now, the second one, butcher, butcher, butcher. Okay, so what kind of question do you anticipate? Perhaps it'll be, yeah, which one is correct? Yes, exactly. And then let's look at the third one. What do you see? Yeah, like the last one, see, cat and cat. Yeah, there is a tiny difference in one vowel sound. Only one phoneme is different. The others are the same, right? So let me show you the task. Here it is. So having played with the words, the task makes sense actually, right? And some of you have already typed the answers. Now let me check if they're correct or not. Yeah, so 3C, obviously it's a minimal pair. Only one phoneme is different, that's what they're like. In thinking, we have several differences. Yeah, sheep. Again, there is p at the end, and also the vowel sound is different, either a long she or ship. Yeah, there. So the quality is different anyway. So there are two differences. In number 2, many of you are saying B. Yeah, good job. Absolutely right. So this is it. Now, the first one is tricky because without this question, you can't answer. I don't know, those of you who typed in the answers, I don't know what question you considered. But basically, we're talking about the word place. P, L, A, S. Yeah, there are 4 phonemes. Okay, awesome. Now, when we talk about lexis, and many of you might be huge fans of the lexical approach because it's trendy, it's popular at the moment, and I think it's worth actually teaching lexis, of course, because without words we can't convey meaning. We can consider many different terms related to lexis. All of these terms appear in the glossary, TKT glossary, which means you have to be aware of them. Now, do you know all of them? No. Tatiana, so find the TKT glossary, yeah, download it, find the terms you're not really confident about, and read the definitions and example sentences, right? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Hold on, I prepared an example somewhere. Let's say, so. Could you type in the word I've dictated? So. Any other ideas? Yeah, actually, yeah. Good. Yes. Yeah, I also have this idea. Yeah, very good. Amazing. So those are words that are called homophones. The sound is the same, the spelling is different, and the meaning is different. Yeah, homophone. Yeah, you can also talk about words. Yeah, C and C, very good. You have some other examples. Yeah. So we can also talk about the words that have the same spelling, the same pronunciation, but the meaning might be different. Yeah, could you give me an example? Yeah, read and read, absolutely. Yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, book, yeah, okay, yeah, classic examples. So, and we call them what? You can see it on the slide. What's the term? Yes, absolutely right. Well done. Now, there are also synonyms, yeah, base words, lexical sets. I'm sure you know them. And we've identified some compound adjectives in one of the tasks, yeah, previously on one of my slides, yeah. So here is the sample task for you. So find the right strategy on your own. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about false friends in a moment. Yeah, hold on. Okay, okay, yeah. So we all agree that one is C. That's absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Why are you saying 1A and then putting heartbreaking? It's 1C, right? Don't confuse your answers. The idea is good, but the answer looks incorrect. Stay focused. It's important during the test. Yeah. Yeah, many people are saying 2B, and that's absolutely right, because a successful road, honestly, and a smooth book, they are not fixed phrases. Okay, can you hear me? I think I had a problem with my internet for a second. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, very good. Now, 3, what is it, a lexical set? 3, no, 3C is not a lexical set at all, because they are all the same parts of speech. Yeah, and they're not sharing the same topic. Yeah, words in a lexical set, they share the same topical area. So 3A, good job. Mm-hmm. And talking about word families, yeah, if you are aware of some principles of word building, how we can produce words, yeah, using the same word stem. Yeah. So what will be the answer? Oh, sorry, I have two twos. Yeah, it's number 4, of course. Yeah. So here are the answers. Mm-hmm. Many of you have identified that it should be C. Absolutely right. Awesome. Great. Okay, so relatively straightforward if you are aware of terminology. So work with glossaries, please. That's your strategy. That's your goal, perhaps, yeah, before you take the test. Just make sure you know all the terms. Now, someone has asked me previously about false friends. A false friend, is it a positive term or a negative term? Who can help me? Yeah, magazine, I like it. Yeah, 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 brilliant. Yeah. It is negative, right? It might be confusing. So the words look similar in different languages. Yeah, like exactly, a shop and a magazine can often confuse low-level students. Yeah, accurate, oh, that's another good example. Yeah, intelligent as well. Yeah, smart might be confusing, but smart is because it has different meanings. That's a different example. Yeah, yeah, fabric. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, lots of things. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But there is another term, cognate. Yeah, I don't think it's in TKT glossary, but we refer to cognates if words are similar and they don't confuse, they help us. Yeah, so something like international words, you know, by the look of the word, you can guess the meaning and it'll be accurate. Yeah. Right. So one more sample task related to lexis. People usually like it. So have a look. I'm showing you both the categories and the set of words. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, yeah, great ideas. I can see, you can see the differences between American and British varieties. Very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, by the way, sometimes we need to remind our students that they can't swap, yeah, using American and British, yeah, in the same discourse. It's better to be consistent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, compounds are identified accurately. Well done. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so I'm showing you the right answers. So many of you have already shared the same ideas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, be careful with the last two. I think there is some confusion there. Yeah. Yeah, good job. Okay, yeah, most of your answers are correct, but double check, please. Yeah, and again, refer to glossaries if you don't understand some of the terms. Now, sometimes there is an overlap between grammar, yeah, and lexis. Like here, for example, what can help us identify whether it is an adjective or not? And that's another question which exemplifies odd one out type of tasks. Yeah, so have a look. I'm not sure. Well, sure is actually an adjective. Yeah, it's used as a part of the predicate. Yeah, difficult refers to question. It's also an adjective. Yeah, it modifies the noun. But I've done it right. Obviously, is used in this case as an adverb, right? So the correct answer is right, although we are asked to identify the incorrect one, which makes it slightly more challenging than other tasks. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now, I have a challenge for you. We are coming towards the end of the session. I won't be able to share all of the examples, but hopefully you'll enjoy flicking through my slides at the end of the session, yeah, when you get them, and you can have a look at some other task types and examples from different areas. So let's have a look at this quiz. How many of the things you can answer? Let's see how advanced you are. Okay, many people are saying in number one, the answer is yes, and you're absolutely right. So which syllable will be stressed then if it is the same, the first or the second? Type in 1 or 2 first. No, that's that's actually incorrect. Yeah, compare, contrast, revise. Yeah, the second syllable is stressed. Okay. So for the second one, I can see many of you are saying no. Oh, some people are saying yes, just to contradict, you know. If it is a habit of yours, it's a conscious decision. Let's figure that out. So how do we use aim? What do we use? What pattern? Give me an example phrase. For example, I am aiming. Yeah, you can aim at something. Yeah, you can also aim to do something. How about suggest? Suggest, doing. Very good. I can see correct answers. Yeah, and provide. A tricky one, or the trickiest. Provide. Okay. Yeah. Provided. Yeah. If you will just use a verb afterwards, what pattern will it take? Okay, I think someone has given provided that, which is quite a frequent pattern that we use, provided that, yeah? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So the patterns are different. So the answer to number 2 is actually no. Number 3, yes or no? Okay, many people are saying yes, but actually no will be the correct one. So your homework perhaps will be to Google to find, like, my favorite online dictionary is Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. Yeah, or any other online dictionary. And yeah, exactly, the third one is different. Yeah, you're right. Number 4. Many people are saying no, which is absolutely right. So which prefix will be used with complete? Incomplete, that's right. With possible, impossible, exactly. And formal? Well, I guess formal is the easiest, right? So yeah, basically different prefixes. So if it would be an odd one out, yeah, we would choose possible here. Now, number 5. Informal. Which of them are informal? What is register? The level of formality, whether the words are formally acceptable, yeah, in formal context or informal. Yummy is informal, absolutely. Yeah, good. Cordially is the formal one. Yes, it doesn't belong to the line. Good job. And finally, number 6. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Some people say no. Okay. And how do we make the plural form? How can we make it plural? Yeah, VES, absolutely. For all of them, it's the same. So such a relief, actually, because English is full of exceptions, right? If you think about the origin of English, how different languages contributed to developing of the language, yeah, it's just crazy. So we have so many different rules, yeah, like from French, some of the words will be stressed on the last syllable and will be, of course, of the formal register, yeah. Some Latin-based words or Greek words, yeah, with some kind of sophisticated spelling. And some of the scholars actually changed the spelling of some of the words to make them look better, more scientific, yeah. Yeah, some other languages, of course, as well. So it's so peculiar. We have so many different synonyms, but there are different shades of meaning, and register is one of the things we can focus on. Okay, right. Okay, awesome. Guys, I don't think we have time to study any other examples. Yeah, but as I've said, I usually prepare slides, a little bit too many slides for us, so that I can fill in the pause if the audience is not actively participating. But thank you very much for your contributions. I really enjoyed the session today. You've been amazing. We've done nearly everything I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to finish with this quiz. Oh, that's great. That's been achieved. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. So, dear participants, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to attend our webinar. So, dear Anna, your presence makes our events a great success. And I think your enthusiasm and very positive spirit helped make our time together both productive and funniest. Thank you very much. So while you are enjoying comments and thanks in our chat box, I just wanted to mention that not immediately, sorry to say, in 3 or 4 days, you will receive a follow-up email from my address where you can find a link to the recording, a presentation and a certificate of participation, and there will also be a link to a so-called TKT preparation pack where I put all together all of the preparation materials available for free, and all these materials were prepared by Cambridge University Press and Assessment specially for you. Okay, so we haven't got any questions in the question box, so I tried my best to answer all of them. So dear friends, dear colleagues, we will meet you in a day on the 23rd of February. So, and we'll be talking about TKT module 2 jointly with Anna. So hope to see you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.